Good morning to all. I am Dr. R. Periyasamy, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Chemistry, Government College of Engineering, Bodi Naikanur. Today we are going to discuss about the topics fuel cell, electric vehicles and supercapacitors. Fuel cell. Fuel cell is a voltaic cell which converts the chemical energy of the fuel into electrical energy without combustion. Here the fuel is combined with the oxygen and it is oxidized. That is, oxidation product is formed with electricity. Hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. It is the simplest and most successful cell. Here the fuel, hydrogen, oxygen and the liquid electrolytes are continuously passed through the cell. The hydrogen oxygen fuel cell consists of two porous graphite electrodes, namely anode and cathodes. These electrodes are coated with platinum. In addition to this, 25% of potassium hydroxide electrolytes are placed in between the electrodes. It is connected with a voltmeter. When the hydrogen and oxygen gases are bubbled through the anode and cathode, the hydrogen is oxidized at the anode with the liberation of electrons. Then the liberated electrons combined with the hydroxide ion to form water. At cathode, oxygen is reduced with the absorption of electrons and is combined with the water to form hydroxide ion. The EMF of the fuel cell is 1 volt. These are all the reactions involved in the anode and cathode. In anode, 2 hydrogen molecule combined with 4 hydroxide ion gives 4 water molecule plus 4 electron. At cathode, oxygen molecule combined with the water molecule plus 4 electron and gives 4 hydroxide ion. The overall reaction is 2 hydrogen molecule combined with 1 oxygen molecule gives 2 water molecule. It is used in some places. It is used as an energy sources for space vehicles and submarines. The water is formed as a product to be a valuable sources of fresh water by the astronauts. It has some advantages and disadvantages also. It is not emitting in advantages. It is not emitting any harmful chemicals. Hydrogen is the lightest element which can be transported easily to anywhere. It does not produce any noise pollution. In the case of disadvantages, hydrogen gas is explosive. It is highly expensive. Next topic is microbial fuel cell. It is a device that converts chemical energy into electrical energy by the action of microorganism under anaerobic condition. It mainly consists of two components, anodic components and cathodic components. The anodic components consist of microbes suspended under anaerobic condition in the anolyte. The cathodic components consist of electron acceptor, that is oxygen. The anodic and cathodic components are separated by a permeable membrane. Working procedures. When both the electrodes are connected, anode oxidation occurs on organic waste and the electrons released from the process are transferred to the anode. The electrons transferred to the anode can be accomplished by the electron mediators. From the anode, these electrons are directed to the cathode across an external circuit. For every electron conducted, a proton is transported across the membrane to the cathode. Finally, oxygen present at the cathode recombines with the hydrogen and the electron to produce water. Applications. In wastewater treatment, microbial fuel cells produce less amount of sludges as compared to the aerobic treatment process. It is used to convert carbon-rich wastewater into methane gases. It is also used in space, especially to operate remotely operated vehicles. Next topic is supercapacitor. Supercapacitor store large amount of electric energy with high energy density. Normal capacitor consists of two positive and negative plates and are kept with specific distance. But the supercapacitor use electrostatic double layer capacitance. The supercapacitor has two metal electrodes coated with porous substance like powderly activated carbon, separated by an ion permeable membrane, and are tipped in an electrolyte containing positive and negative ions connecting both the electrodes. Working principle: when the electrodes are connected to the power source, ions in the electrolyte form of electric double layer of opposite polarity to the electrode's polarity, creating an electric field between them. That is, positively polarized electrodes will have a layer of negative ions at the electrode-electrolyte interface. Similarly, negatively polarized electrodes will have a layer of positive ion at the electrode-electrolyte interface. This electric field polarizes the dielectric, so its molecule line up in the opposite directions to the field and reduce its strength. It means that it stores more electric energy at an electrode-electrolyte interface. There are three types of superconductors, supercapacitors. One, double layer capacitor, pseudo layer capacitor, and hybrid capacitor. Double layer capacitor consists of two electrodes, separators, and electrolytes. The electrolyte is the mixture of positive ions and negative ions dissolved in water. The two electrodes are separated by a separator. The pseudocapacitor stores electrical energy by electron change transfer between electrode and electrolyte. This can be done by redox reaction. The hybrid capacitors is developed by using techniques of double layer capacitors and pseudocapacitors. In hybrid capacitors, both double layer capacitance and pseudocapacitance is achieved. Advantages: the lifetime of supercapacitance is high and it can be charged quickly. So, and also its performance is high safe even at low temperature. It has some disadvantages also. The cost of production per watt is high and cannot be used for continuous supply of current. Applications: it is used in many power management applications like energy harvesting, kitchen applications, consumer electronics, etc. The next topic is electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are the vehicles that are run by electric current. Working principle: electric vehicles work by plugging into a charge point and taking electricity from the grid. They store electricity in the rechargeable battery that power on electric motor which rotate the wheels. So it works in 5 steps. The working principle include 5 steps. In first step, controller takes and regulates electrical energy from battery to inverter. Then the next second step, the inverter then sends a certain amount of electrical energy to the motor. Then the third step, the motor converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. The fourth step, rotation of the motor rotor rotates the transmission, so the wheels turn and then the wheels moves. In the fifth step, when the brakes are pressed, the motor becomes an alternator and produces power which is sent back to the battery. It has some important components like battery, charge point, DC-DC converter, It converts higher voltage DC power from battery to lower voltage DC power. Electric motor, onboard charger, it converts AC electricity to DC power for charging the battery. Then power electronic controller, thermal system, it means thermal system maintain the proper operating temperature range of engine, motor, etc. Finally, transmission, it transfer mechanical power from the motor to drive the wheels. There are two types. Battery electric vehicles, the first step. The second type is hybrid type vehicle. Battery electric type vehicles powered by a battery. These batteries can be charged by plugging the vehicle into the charging equipments. The hybrid type vehicles further classified into three types. First one is hybrid electric vehicle, second one is the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and the third one is fuel cell electric vehicles. The first hybrid electric vehicles has both an internal combustion engine and an electric motor. In this type of electric cars, internal combustion engine gets energy from fuel while the motor gets electricity from batteries. It offers a mixture of battery and gasoline power. The gasoline engine and the electric motor simultaneously rotate the transmission which drive the wheels. Batteries in hybrid electric vehicle can only be charged by internal combustion engine by the motion of the wheels. The battery cannot be recharged from outside the system. The second type, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. This type of electric cars are powered by conventional fuel, that is gasoline, and by a rechargeable battery pack. This battery can be charged up with the electricity by plugging into an electrical plug. It can also be recharged by internal combustion engine. The third one, fuel cell electric vehicles. Fuel cell technology is to generate electricity which is required to run the vehicles. Here the chemical energy of the fuel is converted directly into electrical energy. Advantages and disadvantages of the electrical vehicle. It has some advantages and disadvantages. In the point of advantages, the electric cars are energy efficient and it reduces emission. It can be fueled for a very low price. It is more convenient and easy to recharge. These are all the advantages of electric vehicles. So it has some disadvantages also. Electric car can travel less distance. It takes longer time to refuel, that is recharge. The initial investment is very high. Thank you.